Back in September, when I was about to start my new cruise contract, I said I was going to be filming things and making videos about the places I was going to. And I did take some footage, but I never actually put it together, and I don't think there was really enough, so here's just like a collection of some of that stuff. Better late than never, right? So first I flew to New York City, and it was my first time there. I took the subway, and I managed to figure it out. I met my ship, and I met a bunch of the people who I was going to work with, and it was actually funny because you think with all the thousands of people there are that work at all the different companies that there wouldn't be really that much overlap, but so many of the people who I work with now know other people that I used to work with. We went to Canada, which was cool for a bunch of reasons. For one thing, they have the Kinder eggs, which I've never had before because they're illegal in the US.
I'm gonna have an egg. There's plastic in here.
I don't think you're supposed to eat the plastic part.
You know my mom. This is really messy.
How exciting.
When we first ported in Canada, the dock we were at didn't have any longshoremen, which means one person had to jump over to accept the lines so we could tie up the boat. And I got to be that person, so I joked that I snuck into Canada because I was technically on Canadian soil before we were ever actually authorized through by customs. Obviously, I didn't actually go into Canada. I just had to go about 3 feet over to tie lines up. Alright, so I'm in the storage area, and we think we're going to be inspected by, it's called Health Canada. It's like their version of the CDC. So I had to clean behind all of these freezers that we have. The coolest thing that I found was a bolt. Anytime there's a river that needs to be maintained at a certain water level, a lock can be installed, which is 2 sets of gates that are relatively close together, and a vessel can pull into one of them, the gates can close off, the water level will shift, and the boat can keep on going. And the Erie Canal has a ton of these. On the return trip, we went back to New York. There's this place in New York City called Chelsea Pier, and it's the dock that the Titanic was supposed to end up at. Today it's just been transformed into an attraction. There are different things to do there, like an arcade, and a driving range, which is super cool because you basically feel like you're hitting golf balls out towards the Hudson River. I learned that I have a terrible golf swing, but it was definitely a blast, and at the end of it, probably one of the most fun things was that we had a deadhead. A deadhead is the word for when you have a trip where you just need to relocate a boat from one place to another, so there are no passengers on board, which is a lot of fun because there are a lot less restrictions and regulations. All the things that are geared towards passenger satisfaction we don't really have to follow, including uniforms. I knew when I started my contract that it was going to be really short because they just needed someone to fill in for that period of time up until the deadhead. We finished the trip safe and sound. We got to the shipyard, where she still remains getting fixed up until her next cruise.